My video was reinstated. We now have another story, and I would like to just let you all know, you've seen the title of the video, so you probably have a general idea. The media, the establishment, these big tech companies have nothing but disdain for you. You are nothing, you are stupid, but time and time again, they prove they have no idea what they are talking about. Friends, NPR please. A new poll finds 40% of respondents believe in a baseless conspiracy theory that the coronavirus was created in a lab in China. There was zero evidence for this. Scientists say the virus was transmitted to humans from another species. Okay. Well, you may remember this story from September. Chinese virologists post report claiming COVID-19 was made in a Wuhan lab. This from the New York Post. This is a certified, verifiable news source from the oldest, I believe the oldest paper in the country. We then have, finally, from New York Magazine, the lab leak hypothesis, January 4th, 2021. For decades, scientists have been hotwiring viruses in hopes of preventing the pandemic, not causing one. But what if? That's right. But what if? You see, there are actually scientists who believe it's kind of both stories, right? The idea that there was a virus transmission from a lab to a person or so, and that it was being researched, the virus was being researched in the lab, and then it got leaked. I'm not saying that's true. That's right, one way or another. In fact, my big criticism here is the media. I can't tell you definitively anything about COVID. I'm not a scientist. I can read NPR saying all crazy. I can read about a Chinese whistleblower claiming the inverse is true. I can read New York Intelligence or New York Magazine saying there is a hypothesis in the lab. YouTube probably would remove. They may actually remove it. I'm not exaggerating. They may actually take it down. I recently did an episode of TBS Viral Podcast with Keep Prosperity YouTube channel, Chris Watson. Check him out, story. And they were talking about a lot about censorship and how he, as a PhD, I believe he's a PhD pathologist, was being told he wasn't allowed to speak to these things. How insane is it? Okay, I want to show you what NPR has to say, and then I want to show you what New York Magazine break down how they use conspiracies. But let me explain to you my complaint here. My whinging on the internet as per usual. They tell us the world is on fire. They tell us that global warming is going to destroy everything. I hear that. I see things. And I say, okay, I'm on board. I remember the Deepwater Horizon oil spill or explosion or jolt. Or was it when I was a kid? I don't even know what it was. Exxon Valdez, I think it was. Anders spill. These things make me angry. I don't like seeing this stuff, killing animals, spreading, killing everything. It's awful. It really is. And here's the problem. They say, we are the experts and you must believe us. You are not allowed to spread ideas. Only we, the establishment elites, are allowed to tell you what for. And we are telling you now, the Great Reset is a requirement to save this planet. Why? What better time to enact a change to global capitalism than during a crisis like this pandemic? And then when we hear early 2020, Dr. Fauci says, don't wear a mask. We hear from the circle, don't wear a mask. And it turns out, they were lying. In fact, Fauci admits, he didn't want to wear a mask. He wanted medical workers to have to wear a mask. Okay. And that, I understand why he did it. But he did. Then we learned that the reasons actually we need way more people to have a meeting before we can get to herd immunity. So how do we have that? Stop the virus. He admitted it. And why this whole time? They didn't tell me that I'm a conspiracy theorist or simply reading a story from the Washington Post. This is it's frustrating. So forgive me, it's a little more personal. But I'll tell you this early on in the video. The Washington Post ran a story about the lab hypothesis. I read the story. I talk about this. I'm not claiming I am the one who conspiracy theories. Why? Because I'm not part of the establishment of this. I don't get access to their protections. Now, I think it's fair to point out, I have contacts like Google and YouTube, and I probably have better than a lot of people in life. But how insane is it that NPR runs this story? They say, even if it's bonkers, poll finds many believe QAnon and other conspiracy theories. So many number of Americans believe misinformation of the origins of coronavirus and the recent presidential election, as well as conspiracy theories that QAnon according to the new NPR source poll. Stop right there. QAnon stuff. I know a bit about it. I don't pretend like I know everything, but for the most part, I know a little bit now. I'm not saying it's fuck. I mean, I'm sorry, man. There's just way too much garbage for all the QAnon stuff. And I've had conversations with people online who really look at this stuff. And it's not just that. I know individuals who have privy access to information, and they think they know who Q is. Or I should say the person who's claiming to report it. It seems like it's a lot of wisdom. It's people who just want to live in this world. I'm not even ready to people. I'm not even ready to people who just interested in me. I'm not paying attention to me. You know why there are people who pay attention to me? Then the election happened, and they said Joe Biden won, and all these states, and the media comes out and says it. So now you have regular people seeing NPR say there's no Hunter Biden story, and Joe Biden is won. And then the news breaks, and NPR covered this as well. Confirmed Hunter Biden faces a criminal probe. Joe Biden brother faces a criminal probe for money laundering related to Samuel's Fields return. And now all of a sudden you say, wait, you told me last month this was going to news. You told me Joe Biden won. So it's any surprise there are people who don't believe it. I'm not surprised at all. They actually have this confident garbage all the time. So you believe it first. It doesn't trust the plan. Because they think my president is I'm sorry, my president is you see, they tell us something like you. That's ridiculous. Then you come to me with the inverse of my life and say, it's ridiculous to you. Why should I sit here and take this from NPR? And then you turn around and you New York Magazine come out with stuff. How dare these people? And that's why I said, the system's broken. You know what? Why should I or anyone try to convince anyone that the media is holding and they don't care and they publish lie after lie, flip-flopping about making no sense? Who do I trust? New York Mag or NPR? I don't know. New York Post came out and said there's a whistleblower. He said that the Chinese virologist was claiming he was made in the lab. say there have been claims of fraud and thousands of sworn affidavits, though none of it has been definitively proven. If it's taken. What does widespread fraud have to do with fraud helping Joe Biden? So the three things. Fraud helping Joe Biden. Keeping the microscope. Bill laws that of course there's fraud. We just have to see change the results. That's really the only thing. It's manipulation. It's the game of dirty, dirty tricks. You know, the poll results back to mounting evidence that misinformation is gaining a foothold in American society, and that conspiracy theories are going mainstream. How about Russiagate? That was actually like 3 or 4 years, even before Donald Trump won, claiming he was working with Russia. I would say. Especially right now. This has raised concern about how to get people to believe in a baseline reality, said Chris Jackson in Culture Ipsos. NPR answering this. How do I believe in baseline reality when New York Magazine is saying it's considered a hypothesis of reality and you're saying it's a baseless conspiracy theory? Who am I supposed to trust? There's no consistency here at all. New York Post is supposed to be good, oh, but they're right wing. Well, NPR is, I guess, left wing, and they're saying it's not true, but then New York Times says it is. Who do I trust? Guess what? People just choose to trust one source.
On public health in particular, Canada is taking the steps needed to protect Canadians and stop the spread of COVID-19. We've put in place additional screening and enhanced measures to respond to new challenges wherever they occur around the world. We've been very clear. No one should be vacationing abroad right now. But if you still decide to travel at your own risk, you will need to show a negative COVID-19 test before you return, and you must self-isolate for 2 weeks when you get back. You need to take this seriously. Not following the rules could mean real consequences, including fines and prison time. Let me also be very clear about the Canada Recovery Sickness Benefit. It is not intended for travelers quarantining when they return from holiday. This program is created to give people sick leave if they need it and otherwise won't have it from their employer. It's not there to pay for someone's post-vacation quarantine. We'll have more details soon, but anyone who travels for non-essential reasons will not be able to access the sickness benefit. So many people get so much more than just vacation over the holidays. There's a reason so many Canadians make those tough, responsible decisions. There's a reason so many Canadians live apart. You listen to the people around you. The scene is better protected. The frontline worker who's safe from the job. The small business owner who will with more confidence to be open. We can't let the sacrifices we made over the holidays over the last 10 months go to waste. I think we need to remember what the Canada Sickness Benefit is for. We brought it in place to ensure that if someone comes down with a sniffle or symptoms of COVID-19, they don't decide, oh no, if I stay home, I don't get sick benefits, I'm not going to be able to pay for insurance for my kids. We want them to stay home, and we want them to have support. That's why we brought in Canada Sickness Benefit. We didn't bring it in. We didn't imagine when we passed it unanimously in the House with the support of all parties that people would use it to pay for their quarantines after having gone south for a 2-week vacation. So that is something we are going to fix right now. We're looking at ways to do it as the minister's responsible for solutions rapidly to ensure that it is there to keep Canadians safe and protect people who need the sickness benefit to stay away from work, not as a way of paying for quarantine after vacation.
I mentioned today that no one should take a vacation. My body is moved to the context who live in the country. Many other politicians, as well as the course of the country, despite this advice that you're getting consistently. What does that do, in a sense, to the basic public health messaging government is trying to get?
One of the things that has been really, really important about this pandemic, we are all in this together, that we're looking out for each other, because the actions of any one person can have a positive or a negative benefit on that situation. And the sense of solidarity we've seen throughout this country has been, quite frankly, really inspiring. And continuing to demonstrate that we are there for each other, that we are supporting each other is extremely important. It's been tough. It's been a long year for everyone. And you know, we need to continue to do our very, very best in this work. And that's why I was disappointed to find out two of our and that's why all Canadians are so disappointed to see so many examples of folks who show no better doing things that resolve risk.
I don't think it's represented that people are traveling to the United States on vacation. They will get the vaccine, they will build their kids there. You speak to this right risks associated with the United States, Canada, many people being rated hospitals in Florida. Can you talk about that vaccine?
The government of Canada recommends against any non-essential travel. It is safe for people to stay in Canada. We are delivering vaccines to those vulnerable, and we have access to a wider range of potential vaccines. More vaccines per capita than just about any other country. I understand that people are still looking at travel, but we discourage it. So there will not be any mass repatriation efforts that we had in March if people are stuck overseas in this time of crisis. This is why we are saying to stay in Canada and stay safe.
President Trump is increasing the pressure as he tries to upend the lawful election of Joe Biden as president. Last night, while falsely claiming that he won the state of Georgia by a landslide, President Trump tried to turn up the heat on Vice President Mike Pence, saying he hopes that Pence, quote, comes through for him. He's talking about the Vice President presiding over the Electoral College count in Congress tomorrow, which is largely ceremonial. And today, the President tweeted this: the Vice President has the power to reject fraudulently chosen electors. Now, to be very clear here, no, the Vice President does not. He does not have that power, and that is according to the Constitution. CNN's Caitlin Collins is at the White House. We have CNN congressional reporter Fox on the Hill. And Caitlin, the Vice President actually arrived at the White House moments ago, which must be some kind of meeting. So we're already hearing about these conversations that are taking place. Yeah, Brett, I think we're seeing this point in the President's relationship with someone who's been incredibly loyal to him over the last several years reach this point, this boiling point, where you don't really know what's going to happen or how the President is going to react. Because what we're told is this has been happening between the two of them over the last several days, and then this conversation with the Vice President has been explaining what his role is actually going to look like. And of course, as we noted, he does not have the authority to reject the electors when it comes to that certification tomorrow. But there have been advisors who've been telling the President that he does, that Pence actually could take a more significant role in this. And apparently, as we were saying from the President's tweet, he is saying that it's not true, saying that Pence does have this authority that he does not. So you can see which side the President is going with here. Instead of the Vice President, he's going with those advisors, including people like Peter Barr, who have suggested that the Vice President has had more to do here than that. And it's really this extraordinary split, because while we all know what the ultimate outcome of tomorrow is going to be, we don't know what the outcome of the President and Vice President's relationship is going to be. After this, because now the President is taking his private frustration with him public. I that comment last night at the rally was met tweet today. We have never seen the President treat the Vice President in this way. And then he's lying for other people. He has lost his temper with several other cabinet officials. We've never seen it happen with the Vice President in such a public way as this. But ultimately, what it is a larger picture is that the President is talking about people who are not feeding into his sense of victory here. He has lost his election. He has been wrong by the election process. And you're seeing it taking down people from Utah Senator Mike Lee, like he was last night at the rally, for not saying he'll object tomorrow, but even to the vice president now, someone who's been incredibly loyal to him for the last several years. And Lauren, I know the U.S. reporting about how this is all going to go down tomorrow on Capitol Hill. Can you tell us?
Well, we are now learning that Senator Ted Cruz of Texas plans to object to the state of Arizona, and when he brings that objection along with a House member, that will essentially delay this process even further. We already knew that Senator Josh Hawley would be bringing a challenge to the state of Pennsylvania, but we didn't know how many other senators would join him in bringing these objections. Remember, every time there is an objection, the joint session of Congress has to pause. House members have to have a debate up to 2 hours. Senators have to have a debate up to 2 hours. Then they each have to vote. That takes a substantial amount of time, potentially up to 4 or 5 hours in the House, where they have different voting procedures because of coronavirus. So we're talking about now at least 8 hours, maybe even more, of debate over these issues. So that's going to take a lot of time. Now, I am told that Senator Cruz is objecting to the state of Arizona, not because of concerns necessarily about trying to disqualify voters in the state of Arizona, but instead because he is frustrated that there hasn't been any agreement to get that electoral commission to say potential voter fraud. Now, that is something that Cruz and 10 other Republican senators have been pushing for since Saturday. We still don't know if any other senators might bring more objections, but essentially what we're looking at tomorrow, Brianna, is a very long day. And I should underscore that this doesn't end in any other way than Joe Biden will be the next president. It just might take a while to get there, Brianna.
Yeah, I mean, ladies, we know what's going to happen, but let's hold on to our hats for last because I think it's going to be a wild ride tomorrow. Lauren, Caitlin, thank you so much to both of you. I want to bring in J.W. Barrett to talk a little bit more about this. He's an associate professor at George Mason University, and he also served as an advisor to President Trump's transition team back in 2016. I know that, you must be watching this with considerable interest, J.W., and I want to start with the vice president. Let's talk about his role. Let's talk about the power that he does, or maybe we should say does not have.